We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to the 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19.
Fuck Derek Chauvin.
Verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m.
So the jury has found Derek Chauvin to be guilty. And frankly, I'm pretty happy that justice has been served. It was a long trial. I was watching most of it on YouTube. You know, ABC or whatever has a live stream of it. It's going all day. And it was a pretty interesting case. First time I've actually deeply listened to a court case. And I'm glad that the jury found him guilty. Because the evidence, it shows clearly that Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. I mean, putting your knee on his neck for 9 minutes. Right? While you have several police officers standing around. Clearly, George Floyd was not a threat because he was handcuffed on the ground. And like I said, the 3 police officers standing around, not worried. If he was kicking and fighting and a threat to Derek Chauvin, all 3 of those police officers would have been on him. But they didn't need to be. 9 minutes. This is not just a spur-of-the-moment thing. Even if it was a quick, fast action that needed to be done within a threat by Derek Chauvin, even if it wouldn't be okay to use non-approved police tactics, right? Even if it was in some split-of-the-moment decision. But this was 9 minutes. 9 minutes is a long time, okay? Well, you could have sat him up on the curb. And the medical experts even said there was no damage to his heart. He might have had clogged arteries, but there was no damage to his heart whatsoever that would indicate he had a heart attack. And he did not have enough drugs in his system that it was unlikely he had an overdose. He could have been high on drugs, but that did not cause him to die, and he should not have died. He was a human being. He did not need Derek Chauvin's knee on his neck for 9 minutes. It is irresponsible. It is downright cruel. And I'm glad that the jury found him guilty. They needed less than 11 hours, apparently, to go over it at the end. Because it's good. They were pretty sure he's guilty. It's finally a time where we're starting to have police being held accountable. And I'm happy about that. No longer can they get away with these dirty tactics. Oh, he was a threat. He was a big, scary black man. He was on the ground, pleading with you, I can't breathe, for several minutes until he passed out. People, not a mob, but people, a few people and children around him were saying, hey, he can't breathe. Please stop. That's not a threat. That's not a mob. That's not some big, scary, looming threat that caused Derek Chauvin to have to put his knee on his neck by necessity. Again, there were several cops standing around. They didn't need to have their guns drawn. They didn't need to be tackling George Floyd. George Floyd was on the ground, pleading, I can't breathe. And then he was unresponsive. Not a threat. Not an immediate threat. You can argue that when George Floyd was panicking because he was claustrophobic and didn't want to get in the back of the police car, maybe at that instance, you could say that there was somewhat of a threat to Derek Chauvin. But once he had him handcuffed, and I believe he was already handcuffed at that point, once he had him on the ground, handcuffed, subdued, he did not need to keep his knee on his neck for 9 minutes. There was no excuse for that. He killed the man, tortured him to death, suffocated him to death unnecessarily, and I'm glad he was found guilty. I don't know what his sentence is going to be, but I hope it's a long time. I hope Derek Chauvin gets what he deserves.